Into the black light, exited the mask.
What's up, dude?
You entered the black light, exited the mask.
Shells.
You
Yeah.
entered the black light, exited the mask.
You
You
mild.
entered the black light, exited the mask.
Yo, we back again. If you throw it in the towel, then you back in sin. We need the Holy Spirit, please let the chaplain in. Here at the front door, chilling with the childish grin. We can now begin. Now the truth be told, we're riding on the light to let the youth get old. And following the one that will soothe your soul and take your bad situation and improve your role to release your flow. It's a long stretch to loosen all the nooses from the baby's necks. And tell the young ladies they should save the sex. And tell the young guys not to break their neck for the place of sex, but get the paycheck. And real women really don't play that. A wise lesson learned really, really way back. I used to okay that. The Lord saved me, Jack, from a life of whack. Come on.
Into the black light, exited the mask.
Oh,
You entered the black light, exited the mask. You entered the black
you might want to start paying attention on this next verse.
You entered the black light,
Give
exited
me your
the
attention for a minute. Damn.
Come on.
We from the same cut, but playing different positions. A top secret message got the president attention. Do what you do, just make the good folk listen. And trust me, yo, it's not about who you kissing. There is a plan to see you chewed up and shit out. The devil's burning red from the fire that we spit out. We on the get up, the hell with that down low. Cherish the gift of the wisdom that we found, yo. Still on the mission with the daily agenda. Your head's spinning cloudy, so I doubt you to remember that I walk with the king of kings beside me. Just like the root in India, I read. I volunteer, know the Lord didn't hire me. It is the spirit that inspired me. Water of life to show the chief where the fiery. We have no time for those that be acting grimy.
Yeah, I get it.
You see the? You see the light now? Boy, I've been talking to y'all for a while. You see, you thought this was for like some type of game. Man, revolution. Yeah. When you free your mind, your ass will follow. That's for real. And some of y'all locked up so bad, don't nobody have to put chains on you. Hell, you chain yourself down mentally, spiritually. Come on, free your mind, dude. You a king. Free your mind, chick. You a queen. Let me get something with some feel to it, some funk to it. Come on. I think I like that. Can we get some heavy drums in there? More like Caribbean, Caribbean. Yeah. Yes, bounce to this. I'm just a black man title, yo, you give me that. I like them imports, never push the Cadillac. And would you figure, Mr. Man, while you're kicking back with sick plans to get you stacked, making chickens fat? You know you into that, chilling with your timber cat. Intoxicated to the point, past sinful acts. Be very nimble, Jack, or Jill will get a water back. And have your heart broke just like a heart attack. Look where your power at, no, not the Mido cats. It's deeper than tats and hurricanes and old maps. The spirit flows, so my folks throw daps. Meant for the wise as well as the spoiled rats. So you can fold up or either you can fold back. I hold no judgment over those that have chose crack. Terror over habit that has been proven to hold back. With God on your side, you can get your soul back. Yeah, we need some 3 parts on this, man. I can't carry this boys. That chorus, come on, line up. Yo, I need y'all 3-part harmony on this. I don't know how you can work it out, but work it out. Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? into the room, you feel a certain doom. You might lose your hearing from the sonic boom. Out of the mouth is a sword and I'm taking you out. You try to stop me and I'm faking you out. Man, I wish I had an apprentice to build this work. Collaborate on synthesis. And I hope you remember this. Keep your enemy near to you. Far away, keep those that are dear to you. I hate beer, but I used to drink the brew. Heavily until the little habit turned deadly. I used to have a bud every day and all week. Intoxicated to the point where I couldn't hardly speak. So do the knowledge, that means hold your head. Let the past stay dead and keep a level head. And don't be misled. Remember most of what I said. I'm hot like times in a rock, but you got us hot from working on the block.
By the end of the night, how deep this music is. What is the private man to gain the world and lose your soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is the private man to gain the world and lose your soul?
Mike's handed, I'm speaking candid. Understand this is the way that the masses demand it. I have wisdom, but God planned it. General media banding. I blow flows on beaches and make you wonder where the sand went. The Taliban spent more times in design to destroy cities. My rhymes inspire minds. I'm known as Big Papa, but I ain't your daddy yet. But I could be your bro if you could get the concept. There be many that stand whenever I rip, but it's devastation whenever I rip. I spit flows that hit like mouth on tits, straight legit. You fake rappers need to understand that felonies, gunfights and drugs don't make a true MC. And I will do more than talk this talk. I will defiantly walk this walk. There's no need to spaz. Your nose bleeding while I'm beating your ass. You in the cesspool.
Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What does it profit?
Ancient Chinese secret now. Yes. Did you not pay attention in your history class, partner? Wake up. Yes, sir. Partner. Wake up. Yes, sir. Partner. Wake up, son. It is written that there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. And that the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So take your position. Don't you know you are part of that scripture, yo? Yo, you've been getting in the way and what you knock you down. Yes, but we gon' bring the light, yeah. A Max B production, baby. You know what it is. Listen, I'm known to tell you to fight back. There's no need to sell crack just to live fat. Why don't black superstars simply give back when they know it's a struggle just to live black? Can you picture that, Mr. Aristocrat? I'm coming from the bottom, rising to the top, and conscious is the tone on the CDs I drop. I won't flip-flop like a black bass, but I will put a message in the song before I hook your ass. See, we first class living, worse than slaves of the earlier days, and we adapted the ways of the slave master. I stand upon it, the very rock which put your people in bondage just to get 100. The big face kind, and it don't matter if it's making people lose their freaking mind. That's why I'm speaking mine, hopefully to change yours, to pull you out of these streets from these drugs and strange whores. Huh. Is anybody there? Is there love out there? Is anybody there? Is there love out there? It's like we died inside, no longer having pride. We're still for rides, a new skill to hide. And like the red tide, go and get our heads dyed. Rebel against the laws in the cities we reside. Sleep the circumstance, though our eyes open wide. Fail to coexist, let alone coincide. Eat chicken many ways, but prefer it fried. Like your man on death row when his relatives cried. It's death a mistake because somebody lied. And we can only pray that Christ is by his side. Convicted on the statement implied with no proof. Now will the warden cry that he killed another youth? I truly doubt it, that's why we stay in the booth. Just cause it ain't enough, we should demand and show proof. And if they overlook our voices, then we raise the roof. Which one of y'all dudes? Is there love out there? Is anybody there? Is there love? about your people? Being that I feel like I'm a slave, maybe. Slave. Yo, man. You made a serious mistake, babe. With how you handle me, homie. Slave to the system. Yeah, that sound like a winner right there. Come on. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. Hold up a minute, fam, let me ask you this. Did your last promotion offer you an ass to kiss? Hashtag for this. I know a better way in many honestly. Wonder why you bastard shit. Your heart's got to be right to make it from here. For animosity and hate, you can place it here. No time for pity. We partying all the way. No time to be the victim. We got a call to take. Keep it square and watch God fall the fake. A linebacker reads well before they call the play. Hoping you all would say. Hoping we all would pray. Invest a little bit of time in a taller day. Forgive the ball and play. We got stakes on Israel with much more beef than the Shaw can say. Now that's the scholar's way. No lust for the cause of throwbacks. In fact, give them all away. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. Inside my circles are deep bows and little Urkels and Nino Brown types with no remorse. If they hurt you, many out to take you. Plotting schemes for your paycheck. And no, I'm not a snitch just because I come and say that. Look, dude, I don't play that. When my boy G-Lo was killed, you know you saw me on the news. If you choose to look way back, so stay back. I'm militant like Osama, intelligent like Obama. And you can ask your mama, no need to wonder. I'm like the 10th one under the commission of the author of life. When I was younger, I would do what a thug would tend to do. And if you got the last lick, quickly remember you. A lot's changed, but still things remain the same. Slave masters got these brothers' brains and chains. Yo, I'm feeling your pain. Down and out in life, saying your prayers, but not seeing the change. We in the sin age. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. Yo kid, you can take my advice and dismiss the current hit list. These cats are getting fat from facades and illusion, causing grief and confusion. God knows the rap game need a new son. Here I am, here Lord you can use me. Please don't let the industry abuse me, and let the anointing choose me. And the sheep that's walking to sleep but rise that's groovy. I'm taking strong stands and they can't move me. I'm armed with the verbal Uzi. I'm on my good foot and watching my steps, quiet as kept. If you gamble, place your bets, for God is with me. And there's no way to win playing the odds against me. Most of these cats have money
money, but they soul is empty. And then guilty is the one who stole cool. They can't
Read.
one man, yeah, the Wu-Tang.
And I'm gonna watch 1984.
We will never see a change.
I'm gonna play Oklahoma. Yeah, later. Yeah, what's going on, guys? So, bunch of kids stopped by with the Mormons from the res. They're teenagers. I was teaching these kids martial arts when they're about 6 and 7. No, excuse me. Danny was 10, 11. I know he's about to graduate. And Sue, his half sister, she was 10. She's about 17 now. So anyway, and there was a few other ones that remember me from teaching. They came like once or twice. The other ones was studied for years. They actually, Danny lives in New Mexico. And he's doing MMA. He's doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's really good. I think he's a brown belt. Yeah, he studied under me for like 3 years. His father, because of welding, moved because of Texas and Louisiana, and the belt and all that stuff. They moved to Phoenix. So he started training down there, and he didn't like that. It was a little too Philly. So he started going to New Mexico, and he got his car. He was driving at 16 on the res, but he got his car, and he's been training for a couple of 3 years, I think he said, something like that. They're not Mormons, but they believe in the word Jesus Christ and all that, Latter-day Saints, whatever you want to call it. So they brought me a box, and I'm just going to I ain't going to show you the box. They brought me a box of these. Even though I got all kind of different chocolates and stuff, that's like, I might do it for a week, and then I don't do dark chocolate because it's high in caffeine, y'all. I don't do it for like 2 or 3 weeks. You haven't seen me drinking Rise coffee because mushroom coffee is high in caffeine. I know some people sit there saying, if he was doing, and he can't do caffeine, and there's a difference between a man-made stimulant and added, like natural nicotine and tobacco is not that stuff that one drop can kill like a whole lot of folk. So they brought me to get back to human. Salty dark chocolate, organic, 70% cacao. Now my thing is when I deal with cacao, I want anywhere between 80 to 100%. But I told them I'd give it a try. They brought me a box. These things were kind of expensive, y'all. Like I think he said each one of these is like $2 or $3 a piece. So they bought me a box of 24 and a box of 24 of the hazelnut butter. I'm not big on nut butters, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't even think that. Hazelnut, like butter made from nuts and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about, right? So anyway, dark chocolate. This is also 70% cacao. Now, organic, you already broke that down. But I'm going to try them. Not today. I just wanted to show y'all in case you ever had it. You can tell me, hey, look, it's pretty good, Red. I don't want to be eating something and end up, but they did it out the sweetness of their hearts, and I love them. All right. Navajo. He's Navajo and Mexican. And Sue, I think she's Navajo and Pima. And then all the other kids look like they were Navajo. Maybe they're mixed with Pell, or I don't know. There's a whole lot of kids on the res who are half black. Okay. A lot. Okay. The women out there, the last couple of generations, were getting breaky-deaky. Okay. So I haven't opened this to watch this. Now I've seen it I've seen it like 5, 6 times. I'm going to sit back and watch this today. I actually have the book. I had got the book about 9 months ago, I think. Maybe a little over a year, I think. Yeah, I would say in the beginning of 2023, I think, if I remember right. So I'm going to sit down and watch it. Now that some people are saying it's free on YouTube, I think I shared it one time. I don't know. I may have. I can't remember because I've seen the movie like a bunch of times. But I'm going to sit down and I'm really going to, nitpick through this. It's like he's telling you something and you should really pay attention. So I had somebody who wears a suit, ex-cop, want to be all big-headed, like he thinks being a cop made him smart. No, a lot of you are dumb and still dumb. Throwing his little 2 cent around black and white and this, that, and other. Look, just because you're grafted into that, and if you come over here and watch, shut your mouth. It's not even open for debate. Not with us, those of us who know. Sit your ass still and learn something. That's what I got to say to you. I'm gonna pick through this because he's like, oh, that's just fantasy. Like, this is what the ignorant people think today. You know, stolen history is stolen history, no matter how you want to look at it. Besides stolen history, it doesn't mean it's stolen all from us, but we created pretty much everything, or we engineered things to work as it once did in another fashion. Okay, and a lot of individuals are starting to see that and dig this stuff up. That's not really that buried. Now, there are things that are hidden. There are a plethora of stuff, information that is well hidden from the majority of people. Well hidden, okay? But that information is not hidden within you. If you can just break free and get into yourself and really start unraveling all that information, okay? A warlike people don't care. All they see is what's a threat to their existence when there's no threat to their existence. You know what I mean? That's ergo the word sociopaths. It's in the blood too. And it's past. It doesn't matter if, say, like you was from one of them. It's in your DNA. A lot of these kids running around, a lot of murders, all these, that's the only reason why it was for me. We had instilled that not to sleep with them. I bet y'all didn't know that. Do the research and see what you come up with. They kind of hit that too. It's still there though. We inserted that. They didn't. I remember my great grandmother saying, we ain't supposed to sleep with them. She used to say it like, I mean, she had hands bigger than mine. She slid many a men coming out them bars hitting on her in a day. Slid many of them right up under them, you know, them big old Buicks. You know what I'm saying? When a car was a car, when it was a tank. Bettina Lee, yes, sir. She'd wallop them and slide them. Many, if not, she'd 3 pounds of pressure, right? You know what I'm talking about, Osala? 3 pounds of pressure, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and watch this again because it's been a minute, and got me some skinny popcorn, not like Skinny Pops any better. I don't have all the popcorn I had from when I came from the East Coast. It's all gone. I would love to have some all natural, real popcorn again, but I was the only one growing it. I didn't grow anything for the last few years. You know what I mean? I used to show them how to put it in a brown paper bag with some oil on the seeds and pop it in the microwave or in the oven. And they was like, how you learn how to do that? I was showed. You know what I mean? Like, remember we used to put them in a black kettle and you put it on top of a fire? Mammy be sitting there rubbing it down with homemade butter or oil, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes even lard, for those who know what I'm talking about. And put the kernels right into the kettle, get the fire going. Kettle's good and hot, they start popping. Pop, pop, pop. No salt, no nothing. Just red, and they taste as sweet and delicious, for those who know. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into reading, okay? What's up, Rondo, Jamil, Snoo, Benji, B. Moses? What's going on? What's going on, beloveds? Oh, my baby girl. I know she was going to be in here. That's right. Oh, it's a lot. What's going on? I ain't playing. I'm play you next time, brother. Send some more, man. I know you got some more, man. So we can rock it out. People can hear it. And when they start requesting that y'all be in the chat, you can direct them to the proper place, you know, SoundCloud or Spotify. I've got them both, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, start having people and start, you know, be independent and start charging people a few dollars to stream your music. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Exposing the Expositions, 1851 to 1950, revised from its 2019 to 2021 edition of Muhammad Mikowski. That's Court of Shilaga or Chicago, the Court of Honor. Court of Honor. Isn't that something that we would have a place called Court of Honor here? But nowhere else in the world. Don't complicate things, people. And some of you know I've got thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pictures. I'm just not going to throw them all on here. Research. It's all out there. Who we are and everything. That's why I'm surprised that people argue with some of these Turkish Mongols. Yeah, I am surprised. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm not saying, I'm by no way throwing shade or hate. What I am saying is you have to learn another way, okay? Because I'm still seeing people arguing. It's not who we are. Fighters? Oh, yeah. We're not warlike. We are war. That's why it's important to keep us down and dumb. No, we are war. Oh, seriously. Oh, and trust in me when I express this. Why do you think all the war movies always hide our accomplishments and the fact that we were always on the front lines, never to get R&R and anything? And then when they did, it's because of all the people being fragged. That's Vietnam and Korea. In Korea, our people fought from the beginning to the end. And they didn't come back all shaky and messed up. This is a fact. Ask Jamil. And Rondo should know this too. Let's get into the reading. I hope you remember where we left off, because I'm not going to pick it back up. Go back and watch the video. Do me the honors. This is another sly comment, claiming from one saved stone that the university is much older. I think this is a way of saying that the university buildings are much older. Now, okay, you remember we were talking about the university and how it just mysteriously popped up and became a university. That these buildings must have been there before the fair. Can you really divert manpower from building a 690-acre site? I mean, on 6 acres, if we put 5 families on an acre, you know how long it'll take to build them 30 homes? Okay. Anyway, that has less than 2 years to finish and has today's equivalent of $1 billion invested in its construction. And again, you see this tie of the phoenix rising from the ashes with everything going on with the city of Chicago. I have already mentioned the very odd city hall in town, right? And if you go 2 blocks over, you come to the Chicago Cultural Center, originally the public library, and its special Preston Bradley Hall. It looks like it could be right out of Rome or Greece handbook. And when did it begin to be built? Ah, yes, you guessed it, in 1893, during the World's Fair. Does not everyone in Chicago have enough to do with the exposition? No, they need to build this because you know why not. What is most magnificent is what is inside it. Now you can go ahead and you can look up the Chicago Cultural Center. All right. You can look at the pictures. I don't know if it still exists. You can go to the Wikipedia Wiki Chicago Cultural Center and the public library, to which it once was. It was actually not public. We didn't use those terms here, but it was a library of all the information. Like you say, Memphis, Tennessee, Memphis, as far as the narrative of Egypt. Okay. Preston Bradley Hall is a giant round room full of mosaics and made of white Carrara marble. Wow, you know how heavy that is? At its center is a 38-foot Tiffany glass dome, the largest Tiffany dome in the world. According to the site atlasobscura.com, it has 1,134 square feet of colored mosaics, 30,000 individual panes of glass, and is valued at $35 million. Those are the signs of the zodiac moving around the dome, which resembles we didn't call that crap zodiacs. This is the idiots. But anyway, resembles the scales of a fish. Some say a symbol of the current world age. Others to symbolize the elite itself. No. The funny thing about the fish that they use in the narrative of Jesus has everything to do with who we are aquatically, as far as Atlantis, in case you didn't know that. Okay? Just for fun, open up Google Earth and go for a little Chicago trip. Start at City Hall with the tower across the street, over to the Cultural Center, and opposite is Millennium Park. Check out the beautiful curved column structures at the head of what is obviously a very specific geometric layout of the park. Now, I think Original Lone was talking about going to Millennium Park or something like that a while ago. Anyway, follow along and you come to an odd sphere that may represent the black sun, which is in the middle of the park. It is called the Cloud Gate. Built in 2006 and is 33 feet high and 66 feet wide, 3366. And with the length of the arch creates a phi as in pi, Okay? Relationship. Follow that down and you come to the Field Museum, built in 1911, to house the Colombian exhibits moved from the Palace of Fine Arts. Photos exist of the opening day in 1921. When you view them, it reveals that the museum was built in the middle of nowhere. Granted, Soldier Field, mind you. That originally looked like the Roman Circus Maximus would be built next to it in a few years' time. It is actually a shame the modern renovation happened in 2002. For now, the ancient look of Soldier Field is mostly gone. You can only see it in photos of the 1920s and 30s. I would advise you to go and have a look at that. Check it out for yourself. Pretty interesting. I put my pens over there. Pretty interesting. I think that is more than enough information. If you want more tactical information as far as pictures and everything else, and you will know that they have lied, because when you think about St. Petersburg, Russia, and you think about the castle that the fake king and queen are in, when you look at all those buildings and come to realize that those are ancient, but the narrative of when they were built will always push something else, because they wanted everybody to believe this was the new world and everything else was the old world, so they must destroy this and put everything outside of here. Okay? As I stated, this was the Republic of Tartary. Not the Grand Tartary, the Republic, which is the Republic. Who were the first Republicans? Why do people have a hard time interpreting or seeing this information for what it is? I mean, we created the blimp when they wanted you to believe they did, Germany or whatever. We created the helicopter. We created the rotary engine, the two-stroke, the reciprocal. I mean, if we created all that, then what was the purpose of creating it? One with high to notice. Anyway, let's get into Heaven Bearers, The Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood by Janine Helen. Okay. Baby Girl Slaughter actually is doing some reading as well. Y'all might want to check out her YouTube channel. If she comes in, I hope she puts it in. And T. Wriggles, what's up? It's always a pleasure to hear you read to all of us. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I will continue. I get a little flustered sometimes because there's so much about to happen. And I'm not saying don't go about your day, but and I shouldn't say certain things on here because it brings alert to them. That's the whole purpose of them being nosy, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm not going to say what is possible to be said. I may have said it many other times, but I won't say it now. You know, check your 7 Ps. Let's go ahead and get into this. You all know that's her in South Africa. You go to her page, Janine Helen, Heaven Bearers, and you can see the whole picture and her travels and everything. Her bio, look it up, okay? So remember, we're in chapter 15. So I figured it was good to hold off and say what had to be said, okay? And no, I haven't hit enter as far as the podcast. Urban Indian and his wife want to have me on live, and then they had to deal with some health things, and she was live today, and so they're probably gonna have me live, and I don't want to upset any information or anything like that I may share. So I'm gonna get with that live, and then as a guest, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. So let's get into it. Chapter 15. She is on her way home, Mr. Harrington, and will be here by this afternoon. Shall I arrange the proceedings and the union for this evening or tomorrow evening? This evening is fine, Jane. Thank you. He responds cold and disinterested as he puts on his coat and notices a single strand of her blonde hair on the sleeve of it. He clenches his jaw and gently lets it fall to the ground. She nods in agreement and leaves him to stare at the door in front of him with his hand firmly on the doorknob. Now, I must say something else. So I expressed to y'all to pick up the book called Don't Call My Dummy No Dummy. And I also expressed that there's a new one. I believe I put it in description. If not, I will make sure, because I already purchased it. I think it'll be here tomorrow. I've got 2 yellow slips right there, and I just got a notification that I've got some packages by FedEx coming. So I don't know which way it's coming, okay? And when it comes, I will make sure to write everything on it other than what's already Okay, and make sure it's in there. And I would advise you, because I shared it, to go ahead and purchase the book. Very informative. I haven't read the new one. The other one, yes, and I will get to breaking that book down as well. Um, Rhonda, when you come up here, I want to go ahead so I can be able to take pictures of certain pages and insert them as I'm discussing Jamil Shamsi's book. Just to let y'all know, he was 38 years in the Army. He's a little over 60. He's a good brother of mine. As you know, most of my brothers here are ex-military. And on this side, by the heart of our land that they call America, okay? So I just wanted to give you that information, okay? And if you ask me, I will make sure to inform you as where to purchase the book, okay? Miss Estes has arranged another girl for him already. We're talking about Malcolm, in case you're wondering. And he can't help but think about Bonnie and the first time he laid eyes on her. He was completely astonished by her and her smile, and he realizes now that was the first time he felt some kind of emotion. She was the most beautiful Tartarian he had ever seen. She was small, but not short. She had light pink, luscious lips and luminous blue eyes. He could see a gold flare in them when she was happy, which wasn't often, but it made his heart stop beating. I like that kind of feeling. For just one single moment, right, Snoo? When he was lucky enough to see it. He begins to frown and doesn't like feeling for her. He opens the door and thinks about the discussion he needs to have with the new engineer and marches down the street with his head down and his hands in his pocket. It doesn't take long for his mind to jump back to her, and he thinks about the first time she enjoyed touching her. She enjoyed him touching her, in front of the fireplace. Y'all remember that line, right? He had just washed the blood from her head, and when she woke up, all she could do is want him. He stops in the middle of the sidewalk and shakes his head at the thought and rubs his hands over his face. He wants to scream and punch something, but not because he's angry. This time he feels sad and lonely. He misses her tremendously and just can't shake the feeling. Where are you, Bonnie? He closes his eyes and searches for her in his mind. He knows that if he finds her, they will find her too. He opens them, his eyes quickly, and continues to walk down the street at his usual uptight pace and doesn't greet anyone he passes. He is focused on not thinking about her, and this takes his full concentration. He hears the laughter of children crossing the street. They are on their way to the compulsory state education system you know what compulsory means, right? To compel a state education system. And they did have those, you know. He doesn't feel guilty for any of them, and they mean nothing to him. They are necessary for them, the heaven bearers, to achieve their goal. He mutters as if he needs to convince himself of something, and he again shakes his head and realizes what he is saying. If they achieve their goals, this earth will be destroyed completely too. Just like all the others before, heaven bearers destroy all that they touch, which means she will die. He looks up into the sky, directly at the sun, and it hurts his eyes. He is having a clash of conscience, and he can't control it. He enters Old Brooks and looks for Sven, the new engineer. Good morning, Mr. Harrington. Can I help you with something? The elderly Tartarian man who works there asks kindly. Malcolm realizes that he doesn't even know his name. He has never bothered to ask him what it is, and suddenly feels guilty for not doing so. It isn't important, thank you. He is tongue-tied, and he feels like he is losing his mind. He walks back outside and leans up against the wall. He doesn't like thinking about the true state of affairs and realizes then that they're just so brainwashed, or how brainwashed he is. He believed that what he is doing is good, and he never bothered to question any policy, rule, or law. It was decreed and will therefore be enforced as it is. Sounds like a bunch of dumb people walking around in costume. Excuse me, guys. I'm hungry and thirsty, and I haven't done neither. For the first time in his life, he feels a sense of shame fill his body, his mind and soul. He tries to shake it off, but he just can't. It is more powerful than he is, and he knows what he needs to do for her, for them all. He doesn't go back to the office or continue to look for Sven. He changes his direction and walks towards the grand station. I need to find her. And we're going to stop right there. Cliffhanger. I'm not teasing y'all. I just love doing that. Cliffhanger. It's very fun. Don't worry. Later on, I have to read some Behold the Pale Horse. I won't be reading the Negro Project until tomorrow. Okay, Pale Horse. We really need to get through these articles so you can have more, and you have a drive to look at the Constitution, its articles and acts, and the Bill of Rights. Okay, it's very important that you even look at the original one, to which I've showed y'all the ones I have on papyrus. I'm not going to ever put my Federalist Papers up on here. I made the mistake of doing that once before. Never again. Okay? Passed down through my family. Because I had some pals talking about, you're not a Confederate. I say, no, I'm actually the real Confederate. You're the fraud. Them compulsory schools were a mother sucker, you know what I'm saying, in the 1900s. Look it up. Don't call my dummy no dummy. Yeah, I know you. Yeah, that's the name of the book. The second book. But the first one is don't. Yeah, the second one is I told you don't call my dummy no dummy. That's the name of the second one on just go on over to Amazon, and that's what it's called. Sorry. The first one is Don't Call My Dummy No Dummy, which I've showed y'all. It's down there. It's underneath all the Tartarian books. And 6 books of North American giants. So yeah, I have a couple I went to the shed and brought out from back from the East Coast when I bought it. One at Barnes and Noble, one I ordered from France, and the other one I believe I bought in Colorado when I was coming here, when I drove here, because I didn't take the short part, I took the up, and I also kind of zigged because I wanted to see certain things. It took me, instead of taking 3 days to get here, it took me 7 because I was traveling. Me and Charisma having a wonderful time. You know, what do you do when you're traveling and you know that you really didn't save a lot for the travel, but you made sure you had at least 6,000? You enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? He's also on Instagram. Yes, he is. Thank you, hon. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Thank you, Baby Girl Slaughter. Yeah, I was just expressing to them, go on and subscribe to our channel. You could do it right now. You can subscribe to everybody's channel right now. I would love to see more people actually come in and hang out, because we still have people still caught up wanting to hear that they're indigenous. Or here's something that will bring their religious consort into focus. Like, stop. Because you're going to do that and find out, and then you're going to have to backtrack and realize that that's not even a part of who you really are. I know some people are having a hard time with understanding that you're immortal. You're not immortal. The book God Killers, I really wanted to read that, but that's talking about us. It's talking about man and woman, not him, she's, and this, that's, and all that other stuff. That is talking about those of us who have drive for one another. The man for the woman for the man. And we see something. It's not that we can put our finger on it, but we can't call it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? No, and they can throw out all they want. Like I said, I'm not here for the majority. If the majority was here, it would be going crazy in here. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, hon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, love. And I believe it's very important. I can't tell you what's important. I said believe, didn't I? Well, let's say the faculties are gathered together, and I know it's important. Okay? No, I am not going to say what's a fact and what's not a fact. I am going to say the information, there's a plethora of it, is more than enough. More than enough. And what cracks me up is when those people who have been set up in our place can't realize it. And though there are those starting to realize it and speak, it's bound to happen. But now the enemy has exactly what he wants, he thinks. And that's war happening on multiple fronts. And a fictional government wants to send your sons and daughters, your cousins, your nephews, your nieces, and so on and so on, your wives and your husbands to war, a war they should not fight. I watch a lot of stuff. And like I said, I already said war once. And you have Chechen soldiers being disrespected by the Russian army. But you got to remember that some of these officers are not doing what Putin wants. Putin doesn't want people to be abused. In the beginning of the wars, we're halfway in to this point, there were certain generals out there and commanders who were shooting at men who didn't want to fight. They didn't want to fight because they knew that there was their relations. And also they knew that this fake ass US government was behind the war, pushing it with those fake ass Jews over there in Palestine. The fake ass Jews in surprisingly, in most leadership roles around the world, and they are not equipped to lead anyone or to protect any sovereignty or any government. That's why it's important for people to snap out of it and know that even with their secret soldiers or whatever, we outnumber them thousands to one. But because the people are ignorant, as you see, bloodlust is a real thing. It's a very real thing. Some would say, did they leave you alone, right? They may have, but they messed up the moment the first time they crossed the line with me. They are very demented and sick. And remember, we are not the only beings. We are not the only beings. Just know that. Okay? Somebody brought something to my attention. Says, what if CERN is to crush them trying to come through? That's the reason why they destroyed all our old world gates. I said, it's possible. There's still many gates. You just don't know where they're at. But you also don't know what to do with them because you chemically are unstable. You're like a roaring furnace. And the only thing keeping you is your ignorance. And because you wasn't nurtured from a youngling to be able to control it. So when he brought that to my attention, I knew that's why I had to say that. From a youngling, you weren't nurtured how to control it. Your food is toxic and poison, your water, your air, your existence. It's hard to, now I will say this and give it a real meaning. Whitewash all the nonsense to make a dark space, to empty all that foolishness. It's very complicated. Now you can do it, but you have to first accept that that's the state you're in. And most people won't do that because they're tangible. And I'm here. You know what I mean? Anywho, I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. I'm going to set it up for 5. I do really want to read Behold the Pale Horse. I want to get to the next phase, which is pretty informative. All right. So again, the donation lines are open. Hopefully, they will stop messing with the views and stuff. Like I said, my boy showed me. He was like, "Yo, well, you won't believe this, Red." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I guess they're hard pressed because if they were so powerful, they wouldn't be so pressed. Think. All right. 6 balls. Let me shout y'all out. Okay. I got Ocelot, my baby Snoo, Delusions. What's going on, beloveds? P. Moses, I got you. Benji Namsi, what's happening? Grand Ascension, beloved. Jamil, I got you, beloved. What's happening, my brother? And baby Ocelot, what's up, beloved? I got you. Muller Hutchison, is that part of the Louisiana expansion? Also, not many people talks about. Yes, it is, actually. Very much so. Actually, you know, they say the United States, and they say states. If you were to look at the old world maps, you would realize that as it's been parceled off and perverted, it wasn't so much so like Georgia and there was no Georgia and Carolinas per se, as far as the narrative of land dispute or waters, mountains, or things like that. Yes, by the narrative, and the names are changed, but it was always Virginia, Florida, and Louisiana, all the way over. Like Texas ain't belong to no Mexico. Just like California is named after a person, one of the leaders who was a melanated man who went over there because he was a Khalifa on the island before they built those dams and did the things they did. Because a lot of people are living in a place that would be about 300 feet underwater. And they can make that happen like that. It might be even deeper than that. Y'all have seen the red rains and the floods in some of the homes covered up to the roof recently. And people don't want to know that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear none of that. They want to hide it. You see what I'm saying? Just merely on the inventions alone, GPS, even the speed of the moon by us, and a whole lot of other things. I just wanted to spark the mind's eye to open. That's it. Balance, you know? And I would love to see people ascertain more balance. It doesn't matter what crayon color or fictional existence you believe to be, you know. I think I was the first and only one challenging the sons of the Confederacy. I challenged about several groups. One of them was like, "Nah," you know, and I was like, "Boy, you the only dumb double G in there. You're the clone. I'm the one G. You get it right and know what it means." I mean, he got quiet as a whistle, like a hummingbird attempting to sing Whistle Dixie and just couldn't get the first whistle out. I mean, it is what it is, you know. Jay Riggles, it's good to hear. Good to have you here, beloved. It's good to have you here. Excellent question, too. That is the name of the book. Snoo Girl put up the YouTube. Oh, that's Baby Girl Slaughter. Yeah, check out I Am Baby Girl Slaughter. She's reading as well. Excellent. Very informative. I love the way she reads as well. And how she breaks things down. We're not alone. No, we're not. Six Boss, beloved. The words from Dr. Delbert Blair. The aliens that are here are other humanoids. Well, everything, if we want to use the word human, we're the only man. No, we're the only man. No, Richard. Hue of us, I wouldn't say they're a hue of us. I think they exist as they're supposed to be. We could be considered a hue of them. And I'm not going into the lizard diorama and the snake and all that. No, I believe it's bigger than any picture or portrait anybody can paint. And I believe in an enemy who believes they have it all, doesn't know anything themselves. I can say that with a fact. But excellent, very informative. It rained in Cali for 3 straight days, nonstop. I know. Yes, we are. And regardless of that, it's not like it's a big thing. We all immortal. We are immortal. I remember a story they said when, just to drop this little thing, when Columbus came onto the island and the men swam out to the boats to greet them, he already knew who we were, and that's not his name. We've already cleared up who his name was. And the story is a twist and a lie because the individual that came on a very big ship and the people went out on their ships to greet them, they were stunned because they had never visited. They knew of the old world, but they never been here. And it wasn't the people you see down in so-called South America right now. No, it was not the same people. No, not at all. That's their offspring that are there and the people who set up based on the fake religions and everything else, but not in the period you think. Not at all. Remove 1,000 years. All right? And the first thing they had to do was to see if they could kill us. Of course, the body can die. The problem was they had to find the fountain of youth, which is no more than the minerals in the water, the organs, and the regeneration chambers that we had a plethora of. And with war and poisoning, because we weren't into that. They were able to sack cities and to take all the truth, that was gold, not the gold that you see. That was for machines based on what we used in the old world. I figured people would know that. If you want to gather energy from the ether, then you must have the purest form of mercury that would not kill you or hurt you even if swallowed. right? 3 different forms. They say there might be up to several that they've made it and perverted. Gold and copper. It's funny how they removed all the copper pennies and silver coins, and even the gold half dollars. And all of our bells, I mean giganormous bells. I mean bells that you would sit there and say, they can't forge that today. Seriously. I'm talking about bells as high as 4 stories, people. And grand statues that stood where they said Plymouth Rock. They couldn't wait to destroy those. All that rubble, all that is in the ocean. Or sea, whatever you want to call it. The canal. However you want to name it. Man can get with any race and make man babies. Woman can only make man babies with man, and that's the truth. Very much so. Yet the thing is, let's not get too caught up, people. Always remember, the most important thing is you, not to dismiss nothing else. The well is as important to the ocean as the dolphin and the shark, the octopus, the squid, the manta ray, the crab, the lobster, the shrimp, all the fish, the mollusk, it doesn't matter, the umberjack, the manatee. They're all important. The stingray. Yeah, I've said this. I can say the stingray a million times. You ever seen one soar? I've watched it so many times out of sea. Everything, just like the trees, that they went on a chopping expose, killing off our grand, giant, beautiful, loving, heartfelt, thumping trees of life, overturning our mountains and creating new ones, getting a hold of our old weapons from a war that we had with things coming from out. That's why the moon, that's pop marked. There ain't no meteorites hitting it. That thing is pop marked. That's why when Buzz Aldrin told everybody it rings like a bell, he was letting you know something. The sun is just as hollow. It's an order to everything. It's established for a reason, a purpose. But anyway, that would be for another a live or a podcast. I appreciate y'all coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down and set it up so I can come back and we can get into a little bit of William Cooper, Behold the Pale Horse. See y'all then.